Harry Potter, Star Wars, Marvel, The Walking Dead, Breaking Bad. These are all extremely successful franchises that have great characters and stories worth telling.
No, not you, Seamus.
But with that said, one of these things is just not like the others, and it's pretty obvious which one I'm talking about. Breaking Bad is the only franchise here that actually respects itself. They don't just pump out content for the sake of it. And when they do make spin-offs, their purpose is greater than just, hey, look at that, Breaking Bad's back. They make things with intentionality behind it, and they will sit there and take their time to make something worth watching. Just like headcanon. God, I can't believe I haven't uploaded a month.
How can you live with yourself, Lucius? I don't know.
But you know what motivates me to make more videos? When you guys like and subscribe.
Stop. No!
But anyway, just look at what Breaking Bad has done. They struck gold twice. Both shows had near perfect runs and didn't overstay their welcome. The spin-off series actively built upon and improved the original series, and Better Call Saul stands on its own 2 feet without even needing Breaking Bad references. The cameos that are there from the original show all help build the story and are necessary. And while I don't think El Camino is as good as Better Call Saul or Breaking Bad, it's there for a reason. You know, a lot of people felt like there was a lot left unanswered in Breaking Bad's finale. That's why they made the movie. And it serves as a pretty satisfying epilogue for Jesse. Kind of like the end of Red Dead Redemption 2 with John Marston. I mean, the only bad thing to ever come out of Breaking Bad was that god-awful Slip and Jimmy show. I mean, who the hell knows what that shit was? And that's honestly so far removed from anyone associated with real Breaking Bad and clearly not canon, so I'm not even going to consider it. But it's been a while now since Better Call Saul ended with what I would say is one of the best finales of a show ever. And there still hasn't been any new spin-off announced, even though there's 100 options they could go with that people have been asking for. You can make something about Saul in prison, Kim after Better Call Saul, Jesse in Alaska, young Mike becoming corrupt, young Gus Fring, and what everyone actually secretly wants in their hearts, which is a Huel origin story. And it's not that they haven't done this because they don't have the actors. Everyone is still working with the same people that wrote Better Call Saul and Breaking Bad. They just won't unless it adds to the story. And you know what that really does? I mean, that gives me so much faith in them. They could make a freaking show about the most random, about Bill Burr's character in Breaking Bad. And I would go into it thinking it's going to be phenomenal. Because they've built so much goodwill with the fan base by actually respecting their time with what they watch. They are willing to just let the story sit. And I would love new spin-offs, but the fact they're willing to just let it be if they have nothing to contribute to it just shows me that if they ever did open it again, it's something worth watching. And it has really just become the gold standard of franchises.
I simply respect the chemistry.
I mean, you just know at this point, when something comes out of Breaking Bad, it's going to be deep, it's going to be emotional, and building up this reputation of quality allows you to be able to make mistakes or start slow with new projects without getting absolutely blasted by the public. I mean, at this point, it's so expected for Disney Plus shows to be awful that if the first 2 episodes don't hook you, you're probably just going to write it off. Plus, with a million review channels like mine just frothing at the mouth to tear Disney Plus projects to shit, with good reason, there is no benefit of the doubt for a show that grows into itself before being judged. And if we're just talking about Disney Plus shows, specifically, what usually ruins them is the finale, like WandaVision, Falcon Winter Soldier, Secret Invasion, probably 10 others I can't even remember. So coming out of the gate as anything less than incredible isn't really an option anymore. But I mean, that's obviously not a problem for them, because I can't remember the last show they made where it felt like they put any substantial effort into it at all.
Now, this is very shoddy work, Pinkman. I'm actually embarrassed for you.
What? No way. I gave out samples and everyone said it was the bomb.
Oh, they said it was the bomb. And who were they, I wonder? A bunch of meth heads?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They should know, right?
Yeah, well.
And you know, I almost feel bad that I always have to bring up Disney, but it's just so easy to pick on them at this point. They are the boogeyman of modern media. They own everything, and everything they touch. They just turn into this shallow, boring, emotionless slop that's more concerned about lecturing you about politics than it is telling a story.
Sir, I will not tolerate any racist behavior on the plane. This is a very difficult time for our country.
I know that. I'm not a racist. I just want to watch the movie.
I'm only going to say this one more time.
A man provides. And he does it even when he's not appreciated, or respected, or even loved. He simply bears up, and he does it because he's a man.
I mean, I literally run a YouTube channel talking about movies and shows, and I'm a huge Star Wars fan. I was into Marvel, and it's gotten so bad I dread watching new things to cover them, because I'm always gonna end up having the same criticism, and I don't want to just sit there and shit on something all day, you know? I want to critique things that are worth talking about. But, you know, I'm sure they're losing a lot of sleep over all of us out here not liking their stuff. Or, you know, maybe they actually are if you look at the numbers of their profits lately.
You're completely disgusting, you know that? Hey, buddy, you're the one with the sex toilet.
But this isn't just a Disney-specific problem. I mean, I am probably the biggest Walking Dead fan you will ever meet. Rick Grimes is my favorite character of all time. Walking Dead is probably tied with Better Call Saul for my favorite show of all time. And I have a lot of hot take opinions about The Walking Dead. But one thing that is undeniable is that The Walking Dead sold the hell out, man. It obviously, you know, put the nail in the coffin when it killed off Carl. This horrible decision that ruined the show. But what really made it start to lose its soul to me is when it just shipped off all the great characters to all these failing spin-offs because it just couldn't stop making them. The whole appeal of The Walking Dead is first off how great of a character Rick is, Rick and his family. It's about the close-knit group. And when they started to just throw Morgan over to Fear the Walking Dead and throw Dwight out, you know? Michonne goes off to do her thing, Daryl gets a spinoff, yada yada yada. Maggie leaves and come back. Carol gets the same character arc 4 seasons in a row over and over again until you hate her. And I'm not saying all these shows are bad, but I'm saying is they got stretched so thin and milked it so hard. I was like the biggest Walking Dead fan in the world, and even I didn't want to watch all this stuff. Now, I still am going to watch the Rick Grimes show, obviously, because he's one of the only characters there is that I'll watch pretty much anything you put him in.
You got me.
And I've heard the Daryl Dixon show is really good. I might actually check that out. But it's just like, how are you going to announce, you know, a Daryl and Carol spinoff before your main series has even concluded? Like, do you really care so little about the story that you will tell the audience that your main two characters are both going to survive? But yeah, if you've actually watched any of these Walking Dead spinoffs, tell me which ones are good, and I might actually check them out, because I do have to get ready for the Rick show, because I can't help it, you know? The only reason what The Walking Dead did isn't quite as bad as what, you know, is happening to Star Wars and Marvel is because The Walking Dead can recover pretty easily from this, because when Rick leaves the show, it basically turns into a spinoff of itself, and The Walking Dead's all about Rick. So the fact he's still around means you could kind of pick up the pieces and make a good ending still. But if you just think about the best parts of all these franchises, and think if they had someone like Peter Gould or Vince Gilligan in charge of them, how fantastic all these Star Wars projects would be right now. Can you imagine? I mean, would you rather have all this insane amount of Marvel content that is pretty terrible, or have like maybe 4 really good movies come out since Endgame that are all on par with the best Marvel's ever done? You know, that's the difference. Because diluting your franchise is just a recipe for disaster. Because once you start associating all these mediocre projects with your brand name, I mean, people aren't going to be excited to see your stuff anymore. You know, no one's going to get hyped when they see a trailer for something. They're just going to shit all over it. And that means when you do release a trailer, you have to fill it with fan service and give away all the best parts of your show. Otherwise, people won't even give it the time of day. And as for Harry Potter, I mean, I already made a video about the Fantastic Beasts movie, so I won't go into it here, but man, did they screw that up. It was such a sure thing, too. You know, at the end of the day, a couple franchises aren't very entertaining anymore. It's not the end of the world. Life goes on. But it is sad to see, and it is kind of frustrating. But that's why when you see something like Breaking Bad just really stay true to itself and never milk itself for more than it's worth, it makes it so much more satisfying, and it's something that deserves some praise. Because it's pretty rare for a franchise to stay consistently great and just never sell itself out, you know? So let me know in the comments if you can think of any other franchises that are like that. Tell me about them, and I'll catch you all in the next episode of Headcanon.